If you're a weather geek, if you're really into the weather, this is your video. It's called Weather for Weather Geeks. And even if you're not a weather geek and just need a lot more detail in your forecast than you can get on TV or with your app or anything like that, then hey, this is your video too. Today, not a great day out there. Beats snow, if you ask me, but it was a damp one for a Monday. It definitely looked and felt like a Monday. This time-lapse video will take us from about 7 a.m. to about 7 p.m. this evening. About 12 hours worth here, 422 Niles, just outside of the Eastwood Mall. And as you can see, the road surface got damp on a few occasions today. Most of the rain was pretty light. It got heavier on occasion, but even though temperatures were above average today, kind of felt like a chilly rain when you have temperatures in the lower 40s and rain. That never is a great feeling, but nonetheless, it was above average despite the clouds and the rain. This is a 12-hour loop, so we just showed you a 12-hour video. Here's a 12-hour radar loop showing the steadiest and heaviest of the rain was right around midday, early afternoon, and things have been pretty quiet over the last several hours, although there certainly is a little bit of real light rain or just some drizzle out there this evening. Rainfall totals over the last 24 hours, Latonia about 1/4 of an inch. Not too many other places got more than 2/10. Most places, a tenth or so, and we're certainly going to add to this as we go through the next couple of days. So here's our high-resolution futurecast showing us what the radar should look like. Spotty drizzle for the rest of the evening. But notice what happens as we go into the overnight. Steadier rain pushes in from the south, and boy, you get up tomorrow morning for I'm not sure if the kids are off tomorrow for Christmas yet or not, but if they're going to school, be prepared for a soaker at the bus stop tomorrow morning, and as you head off to work tomorrow morning. It will be raining at a pretty good clip. That'll be the wettest part of the whole day, right around daybreak tomorrow. I do think that the rain eventually does end, or at least taper off by midday. So here's a look at the RPM model, I should say. That's our in-house computer model, if you will. Showing us the rain tomorrow morning, but mild temperatures. It'll be in the lower 50s at the start of Tuesday. The rain pushes out of the way by about lunchtime, and I think these temperatures are a little optimistic, a little too high, what's being shown here. But I think a lot of us will get to 56, 57 tomorrow afternoon. Maybe 60 in one or two spots, but that might be pushing it. But nonetheless, the second half of the day tomorrow is certainly looking better than the first half. And this particular model does not bring a whole lot of moisture our way for Wednesday. I think it's probably a little too dry. It shows a little band of moisture here at noon. I suspect there's going to be more than is shown here on Wednesday. I think we'll need the umbrella a few times, especially morning and midday. And boy, temperatures Wednesday off to the races, especially if it doesn't rain that much. I could see where these numbers are a little too cool on Wednesday. So a little too warm Tuesday, a little too cool Wednesday. We have a forecast high of 62. The record Wednesday is 61. So we're going to be very, very close to that, perhaps even break it. So that's the story for the next couple of days. Warm temperatures and, of course, some wet weather. How much rain are we talking about through Thursday night? Well, there's some model disagreement here. You see the blue and the green sort of fall off. That's because those particular models don't go out as far as the graph shows here, so that's why they drop like that. The GFS, the NAM, and the European, shown in the red, orange, and purple lines, they go out far enough, so that's why they don't do that little nosedive. Nonetheless, a pretty healthy amount of rain through Thursday night, probably between 3/4 of an inch and maybe even an inch. And there's more where that came from as we head past Christmas. All right, let's focus, though, on the next few days. Again, rainy morning tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon we dry out, might be some peaks of sunshine. Then on Wednesday, again, this particular model doesn't bring a whole lot of moisture in Wednesday. It might be a little underdone. I don't think Wednesday's a washout, but I think there's probably a little more rain than is shown here. Warm day, of course. And then here's Christmas Eve on Thursday. Next cold front comes in. Now, the RPM model here is a little faster than some of the other modeling. If you take this verbatim, it would suggest that the rain is gone by daybreak on Thursday. That might be a little too fast, but I could see where the rain is done by about mid-morning on Thursday, leaving us with a dry rest of Christmas Eve. Nice evening for Christmas Eve. If you're heading out to services, checking out lights anywhere, it's going to be dry. It's not going to be all that cold, of course, after high temperatures in the lower 60s Thursday afternoon. And, of course, that'll set the stage for the best day of the bunch, and that is Friday, Christmas Day. Looks like an absolutely beautiful day. Here's Friday, 10 a.m. Nice bubble of high pressure right over Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. The sun will be out. And this is kind of a little bit of a mirage, if you will, in a sea of rainy weather. Friday for Christmas Day is the only dry day that we have coming our way. Because Saturday, here comes another warm front and a pretty good shot for some rain during the course of Saturday. Sunday will be a busy day for travelers across our part of the country, across the entire country really, as the holiday weekend kind of wraps up. I do think there can be a little rain around our area on Sunday, with more rain down in the south. Some of this will actually be snow and frozen precipitation. Parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Northern tier of states actually doing the best on that busy travel day on Sunday. And what happens with this strong low pressure early next week? Of course, this far out, there's some model disagreements, but I think there's at least a pretty decent chance we continue to get wet, not only Saturday, but Sunday, and into the first part of next week as well. It's an unsettled pattern. As far as temperatures go, this is the European model, showing upper 50s to around 60 or so on Wednesday, Christmas Eve day. This may be a day actually where it's warmest in the morning and midday. Despite some sun, temperatures might start to slide gently Thursday afternoon, and that will set up a cooler day for Christmas Day, but still, it's December 25th. It should be about 34 degrees. We'll have no trouble getting into the upper 40s to around 50 on Christmas Day. Beyond that, there's no let up from the mild weather until the real longer range, so upper 50s, maybe 60 or so on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the 27th, might be somewhat cooler that day, but still above average. And then next week we start to slowly kind of revert towards a pattern that is a little more typical of the season. Not a cold pattern, but a pattern that is a little more reasonable for this time of the year. Here's a look at the GFS ensemble flow on the third day of January. I've skipped ahead into 2016 here. And what you have here is a ridge on the East Coast, which we have not seen much of this winter. That's why we've been so warm. You got a ridge popping up on the West Coast, some troughiness in the east, not a real big deep trough, not a polar vortex kind of a thing, but a pattern that will produce more average or normal temperatures for early January. I would expect in this pattern to have some days with highs in the 30s, lows maybe in the teens and 20s. In other words, pretty typical stuff for January. So the modeling is in decent agreement that the very end of December and then into the first week of January, we're going to start getting into a pattern that is just typical winter, not super cold or anything. And here's the latest climate model runs for the month of January, still painting a warm scenario overall. I've gotten a lot of questions on social media lately about, hey, how's January look? If you're a snowplow driver, if your business depends on cold and snow, not a lot of great news for January. It's going to snow some. We're going to have cold days. But overall, as a whole, January is probably going to tilt in the direction of warmer than average, and certainly warmer than last January was. So that's the way it's looking right now. If you want to find abnormally cold weather in January, you probably have to go into the Southwest and into the Southern Plains. It just doesn't look great for a lot of cold and a lot of snow in January here this year. You can primarily thank the strong, even record El Nino for that. All right, that's our Monday night weather for Weather Geeks. This is the last weather for Weather Geeks of the week. I will be taking time off for Christmas, and no Weather Geeks until a week from tonight on Monday. You can still look for some social media posts from me tomorrow. I'll be on 21 News at 6 and 11, but no Weather Geeks tomorrow. And then Wednesday through Sunday, kind of radio silence from me on social media, as I will be off the grid for Christmas. So if I don't see you before then, have a great Christmas. Wishing you and your family a happy holiday season. Thanks as always for supporting this video, supporting me and my work on TV, social media, and on the web. Anyway, we'll see you in a week. Have a great Monday night and a great rest of this week.